Hello and welcome to today's video, which is all about Warframe and a new player guide to Warframe. Nice to meet you, by the way. If I haven't met you before, then fair enough. If I have met you before, then thank you for subscribing. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Anyway, so today's video is about a new player's guide, not a beginner's guide. I think it's important to point that out, that a beginner's guide, which I've seen a lot of on Warframe on YouTube, focusing on the right Warframes that you should start with, or the right guns that you should start with, what Warframe is, and stuff like that. I want to kind of go into a guide around you've maybe just started playing Warframe and been quite overwhelmed with what's out there to do and where you should start and where you can find information, that kind of stuff. So this is for those players that are a few hours in, maybe that kind of level, to give you a bit of a guide what is there to assist you in getting the most out of the game. So first of all, I want to talk about information. Information in Warframe is both hard to come by and very, very prevalent. So there are a number of sources that I would recommend you dip into to get ideas about what things are, how you do stuff, the best way of creating things in the game. And that is, inside the game you've got the community themselves. You can ask players questions, great way to make friends, and you can generally get a decent response from people. Certainly if it's an honest question of how do I do this, or what is that thing, how do I get that, you'll generally get a decent response. I've only really experienced a handful of toxic players in my time. Most of the time people are very forthcoming with answers, so don't be afraid to ask questions. And most people realise that everyone was a beginner once, so be awesome, and people be awesome back to you. It's effectively what I'm trying to say there. But not only do the players give you information, get friends with the wiki. I mean, the wiki, it's just got so much information in it, and what you'll find in the wiki is you might get a strange ingredient or resource that you need to put in something, or how do you get a certain thing that you're looking for. So that can help you identify where to go, what to do, as well as percentage drop chances of stuff that you're looking for, or how to maximize your chances, or anything like that. So the wiki can be really helpful, and 95% of the time, 9 out of 10 times, it's definitely something that I would rely upon. When new stuff comes out, it takes some time to be updated, but generally for new player experience, stuff will be there. And don't forget all the subreddits and forums and articles and YouTube. The game's been out for like 7 years now, so it's kind of a case where if you've got a question, it's probably been asked and answered already. So a bit of Googling, you'll get the answer you need. Promise you. The next big chunk of this video is going to be talking around the experience that you have and how that changes over time. Warframe is not a game that you can put into a box very easily. It's looter shooter on one arm, it's an MMO on the other arm, it's a collection paradise in others. It's difficult to explain to people what Warframe is unless they've experienced it for a decent amount of time. It's a bit like explaining to somebody that doesn't have migraines what one is, and it's not just a fucking bad headache. I get migraines. It's really difficult to explain to somebody who doesn't have one, but it's that element of experience is key to them understanding what it is. So, in those early days, you'll be absolutely spoilt for the amount of stuff to do and things to do, and that can be overwhelming. I understand that, but savor that moment, because in the early days, all the stuff you're collecting, you need. Everything you're going to collect yourselves, it's going to be stuff that you need to put in other things or create other stuff. In one of my early videos on Warframe, I said you can either do 10 minutes or 10 hours and still feel like you come away with progression. And that's true. In the early days, it's very much like that. As time moves along, it turns more into a hunt of things. So you're actually focusing on a very rare item that you've got a low chance of collecting or dropping, and you're working out your ways to maximize that thing to get that stuff. If you're a collectionist like me, I want to have all the things, literally all the things. The fact of Warframe being a game that it is, somebody completely different to me can start playing Warframe, have the same access to all the stuff they want to do, and just breed Kavats and Kubros, which are companions you get at some point in the game. It's insane. And other people can spend hours upon hours creating the perfect fashion frame for their particular Warframes. It's got a whole community behind it, and generally people can play the game however they want to play it. There's no push to doing things. So it's really about having a plan of what you want to do and understanding what kind of player you are. That's the best way to get the most out of the game, I personally think. There's all kinds of stuff that come along, like timed events, which you want to spend time doing stuff in. You want to maybe spend some time watching the dev streams every fortnight to understand what's coming up. It's important to learn these things and know it's there, but your experience of the actual gameplay will change over time. They do try to appeal to a broad category of player. So some particular events like the Void Relics, where it's a bit of a Schrodinger's box, I okay, a loot box for argument's sake, but you're not paying money for these. But it's an event. You go into a mission, collect some tokens to uncrack it, or crack it. Sorry, not uncrack it, that'll be put back together. But to crack this relic, then something comes out of it, which is either uncommon, common, or rare, and you can share amongst the spoils of your squad. Those particular missions are aimed at low players, low kind of ranking players, and also to higher ranking players through different leveling. So there's so much to do, but you can do them across that band and breadth of experience. That don't worry about rushing it. Play at your own pace. Enjoy Warframe and understand it's not a race, it's not a sprint. Just enjoy it in your own time. Savour the moment, because once it's gone, you'll never be able to do it again. And one of the things that people always said to me when I started, and I still maintain this to this day, is if you are going in for a full experience of Warframe, be prepared to spend quite a long time getting through to a certain mission called the Second Dream, which you'll probably experience around, I don't know, anywhere between 50 and 150 hours in, depending on how you play. At that point, you're considered to have finished the tutorial. When people say that to me, it felt like a joke, but it is true. At that point, the game suddenly clicks into place, the lore kind of makes sense, the experience that you've had to that point give you enough grounding to start working on other things and getting a little bit more pernickety about how you put things together. Like mods. My god, mods are so important, they probably need their own part of the video, or own video, sorry. Learn about mods as much as you can, especially in those early days. There are essential mods, there are really, really meta up there in the fucking sky. Maybe you might get some use out of the mods. There are completely useless mods. There are mods that stack together really well. There are ones that almost cancel each other out. Just identify, learn, and just experiment with mods, because that is the backbone of Warframe. You start off with a lot of, if I remember, some kind of broken mods that give you a range to put some in and play around with and give you some bonuses. But believe me, you'll get hundreds and hundreds over your time playing Warframe, which you can cash in for other resources, should you need those resources. But mods are so important, and they do need the respect and time to learn a little bit about them, to get the most out of playing the game. You can change a weapon into a piece of dog shit into an absolute killing machine basically just by putting the right mods in it, so bear that in mind. And the last thing I want to touch on is the social aspect of Warframe. It's really, really important to me that you play with people. Now, I've said as advice before that it's a good idea to do things at the start, maybe solo, to understand the mechanics of a certain mission type, or how you use your Warframe, or whatever, or you want to spend some time fucking about and just working out how things work together. Fair enough. And some people might use that to, when they eventually go into a random squad, or play with other friends, that they are helpful rather than helpless, which is fair enough. If you are somebody that wants to be self-sufficient, that's certainly something you can do. But don't forget that the game is very, very social. Playing with other people is probably the best way to experience it, and you can make some friends. People can be friendly. As long as you're awesome, then other people will be awesome back to you. I promise you that. For example, if you like the look of another player's Warframe, tell them. If you are wondering how they're doing so much damage with a weapon, ask them how they built it. They can share all that information with you quite easily these days, and you might make a friend out of it as well. I'm not saying go into missions and just tell everyone they look great, because it'll lose its impetus. But definitely, just be sociable. Play with other people, play with friends and clanmates. Joining a clan is really important. You get access to so much stuff in there. So even if you start it on your own, the overhead can be a bit much. I did that myself. I had my own kind of clan, but I've got some friends in the clan now, and we put stuff in and try and get to open up some of the remaining parts that take ridiculous amount of resources. So absolutely get involved with the clan, be nice to people, be awesome, and talk to other people and be sociable, as well as know where to get information and understand how your experience will change over the hundreds and thousands of hours you're now going to spend in Warframe because you love it so much. Oh, one final thing is just to mention about Platinum. A lot of people, having reviewed the game in years gone by, have looked at Platinum and said, this is something you pay real money for, therefore it's a pay-to-play game. It's not free. I'm not saying you can get everything in the game for free, but technically you can, i.e. you can get certain gear and things that you can sell and trade for Platinum, which people can then give you, and then you can use that Platinum to get those things. So technically you could get it for free. You could get everything in the game without spending a penny, and that's not meaning you piss on things. That's just without spending money. But certainly if you want to get some Platinum, I'd highly recommend two things. First of all, you get some Platinum when you start. Don't use it on anything but Warframe and weapon slots. That's a given and an agreed consensus among the community. But certainly I would also say that when looking at getting some Platinum, wait until you get a coupon. if you can. A coupon can give you up to 75% off, which can really help with the cost of getting platinum, and it's a great way to reduce your costs of playing the game. So that's just a few little tidbits at the end. As a reward for lasting this long, I know I've been waffling on for quite a few minutes here. There's a lot to go into. If you want me to do another video like this, or maybe some other aspects of Warframe, please let me know down in the comments. Please like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Helps out the channel a great deal. But I'd love to hear from you in terms of comments on how you are experiencing the game so far, maybe how many hours you've got involved in the game, and any questions you may have, I'll be happy to answer. So please let me know downstairs in the comments. But apart from that, that's all I've got time for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I appreciate taking a moment to learn a little bit more about Warframe. It's an incredible game. I've had a lot of good times with it, and I'm more than happy to sit here and claim that I'm a fan of Warframe. So yeah, take care of yourselves, guys. We have videos coming out every Wednesday, Saturday, and check back then for some awesome content. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Okay, love you. Bye-bye.